morning, I'm Agustín Zepeda for NewZtar Intelligence. Here is your global briefing for Wednesday, June 3, 2026. Iranian drones and missiles struck Kuwait International Airport this morning, killing at least one person and injuring dozens. Iran claims the attack is retaliation for recent US strikes, marking a dangerous escalation that threatens the fragile ceasefire. The airport serves as a critical logistics hub for approximately 13,000 American troops stationed in Kuwait. But here is where the coverage diverges. American media emphasizes threats to US forces and ceasefire violations, while Middle Eastern outlets provide Iranian justification narratives. Chinese and Russian state media have completely omitted this story from top headlines despite its regional significance. Ukrainian drones successfully struck an oil refinery in St. Petersburg this morning as Putin's flagship economic forum opens in the city. This marks the deepest penetration into a major Russian city to date, hitting targets over 700 kilometers from the border. Russian state media has completely censored coverage of the strikes on their second-largest city. But here is where the coverage diverges. American and European media prominently feature the strikes as embarrassing for Putin, while Russian state media has enacted an extraordinary complete blackout on attacks in their second-largest city. Chinese outlets quote European officials on Kremlin panic without independent reporting. Trump administration officials unveiled plans for sweeping new tariffs targeting 60 economies, threatening a renewed global trade war. The announcement triggered sharp currency movements and immediate pushback from Brazil and the European Union. Switzerland's central bank delivered a dramatic 50 basis point rate cut to 0.5% in apparent response to trade tensions. But here is where the coverage diverges. American media frames this as Trump economic policy, while European outlets emphasize threats to global stability. Chinese state media has remained notably silent on tariffs that would directly impact their economy. SpaceX is targeting a $135 share price for its initial public offering at a $1.75 trillion valuation. This would make it the largest tech IPO in history, dwarfing previous records. Microsoft separately unveiled a new agent-focused Android operating system, signaling major tech platform shifts. But here is where the coverage diverges. American media celebrates the valuation milestone, while Chinese outlets downplay the story amid US-China tech competition. European coverage focuses on regulatory scrutiny questions largely absent from US reporting. Vanguard's VOO exchange-traded fund crossed $1 trillion in assets under management, becoming only the second ETF to reach this milestone. Stock markets declined on Iran tensions despite this achievement. Oil prices spiked and the dollar jumped against the Swiss franc as investors sought safety. But here is where the coverage diverges. American financial media emphasizes the VOO milestone as proof of market strength, while European outlets focus more heavily on the Iran-driven market decline. Russian and Chinese media provide minimal coverage of Western ETF achievements. A Royal Navy helicopter crashed during operations, killing 3 service members. The incident occurred during routine training exercises, according to initial reports. Britain's Ministry of Defence has launched a full investigation into the cause of the crash. But here is where the coverage diverges. European media provides prominent coverage befitting military casualties, while American outlets largely relegate this to brief mentions. Russian and Chinese state media show no coverage of Western military accidents. That is your NewZtar Intelligence briefing for Wednesday, June 3, 2026. News in every angle, every morning. I'm Agustín Zepeda. Stay informed.